If you know, hey, this is what I really want, then you need to start from the very beginning so that you could do it correctly.
What key strategies did you implement to transition from creating personal wealth to establishing generational for your family?
So,
Sorry.
yep. So this one's a good question, but it's about 5 different steps I'm going to tell you. Number one is having a financial plan, knowing exactly what you want to invest in so that you could if it's going to be a short term, long term, how are you going to turn it to a generational wealth strategy? Number two is having that strategy very well planned to where you understand who are you transferring this to. That next generation, sometimes, like what you just said, they don't want to continue your footsteps. So having the knowledge and being realistic on who your kids are. For example, I have 2 children, and my daughter is in the business, but she's creating her own leg into the wealth. We're in real estate. She doesn't love real estate. She doesn't love finance. And my son as well is in the business, but also creating his own line. So understanding the strategy of what you are creating so that when you are leaving this or passing on that baton, that you are not leaving them a problem, or that they're not going to continue it and make, you know how that stat is that the third generation loses it all, is because they don't have a strategical plan to pass on that baton. Another one is legacy. You want to make sure that you create a legacy where they want to follow so that they could have the inspiration of saying, wow, my parents, my great grandmother, my great grandfather, that generation to continue wants to look up to what you left behind and what you created and your values and your missions, so that they want to be able to follow you. Because again, some of these children, they're like, I can't stand my parents or my grandparents. They're so bossy. They want me to do what they want, and they're not going to continue the legacy. So making sure that you understand the legacy, leave your legacy behind so that they want to follow you. Another one is creating an estate plan. Like, I have a 100-year plan that I'm creating with a counselor that we brought in because we wanted to bring in that next gen to be able to be part of our continuing generational wealth. And the other one is continuing to learn, to never stop learning, and also adapting to the changes in the environment, in the markets, because you could be investing in something today, and in 10 years, like right now, we have AI, right? We didn't have that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So having to adapt to the changes of the environment that you're in and the market that you're in.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're
Where would you tell people to find that blueprint where they can go and learn everything that you just said? Like, to give them, directions. And this is what you do. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. This is exactly the blueprint how to do it.
So for me, it took me a long time, but we have a great speaker that you're going to have later on, Edward Collins, that you're going to be able to get a lot of. But I hired an actual team that came in and has been with me for the last 3 years because I couldn't get what the blueprint that I wanted. We were butting heads with our children. Because again, me and my husband are very alpha. We created our wealth, our loan. We don't come from any money. We were completely created the wealth. I have a 33 and a 27-year-old. So when we started telling them what we wanted, they were like, well, wait, we're going to keep this and we're going to have to continue the wealth for the next generation, but we don't want it to do this. We don't want to do it this way. So we had to bring in somebody to help us create this blueprint.
What is the key to creating generational wealth that most don't focus on?
So again, we're gonna go talk about, having a complete plan on what your values, what your mission is all about. Because, and a lot of people don't focus, and I didn't focus on this as well. I didn't bring in financial planners. I didn't bring in attorneys. I didn't bring in tax advisors in order to start creating. So I learned this late in the game, but luckily I did learn it. And now it's a complete different game changer. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm just getting started. Oh, I only have 100,000 or I only have 50,000. It doesn't matter how little it is. You need to start. You're smaller. Plan could continue going and you're growing it the right way. Myself and my husband, we lost out in a lot of tax benefits. We lost out in creating a lot of our wealth to be into a trust and out of our, taxable, and not protecting ourselves as well. So bringing in what I love to call an A+ team very early on. It's never too small if you have a big mindset to be able to create this generational wealth. If you know, hey, this is what I really want. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave generational wealth for my family to come. Then you need to start from the very beginning so that you could do it correctly and not lose out on many steps that you, like I said, a lot of people just think that it's never, you're starting too early. And it's not. Me being a business owner and I exited out of a very large company, you can't do it on your own. You have to have people that are smarter than you to be able to succeed. You need a village. You cannot do it by yourself. There's no way that you could build anything on your own. If you have that mindset, there's no way you're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna stay very small and never be able to exit out of a business, never be able to create generational wealth, completely get that mindset off and bring in smarter people than you in order to be able to create something way bigger than you can on your own.